Welcome to ZooBricks. My name's Maxine and I'm trying to build the world's largest Lego zoo. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now, it's been a little while since I posted an update, but we have been super busy here at the real life zoo. But what I want to show you today is actually how I get prepared to transport this Lego zoo to a Lego show, because this weekend it is the Bricktastic Lego show, which is the UK's largest Lego show, and it's down in Manchester. So I've got to pack all of this stuff away into a million boxes, it seems, and put it in the car and take it 3.5 hours away. So I want to show you what goes into packing this away, how it comes apart, which bits get their own little special packaging, and kind of like how I do it. Now, this is my second show. I did my first show back in November, the Shildon Brick Show down at the Locomotion Museum in Durham, and it went all right. I had a few issues because the giant hill that the castle sits on fell apart. The castle hill has taken a bit of a hit. Going to have to rebuild these in a modular way, I think, because unfortunately they just didn't want to hold together. I think I had built it modularly because you can see here there's like a nice defined edge where one plate ends and the other begins, but it was the top bit. This overlapped multiple plates. I think I just thought, oh, I'll never need to do that, but actually, hindsight, I do need to do that. And there's one of the little sad tables that came out of it as well, but could be worse. So I've rebuilt that now, and hopefully it's going to make it a lot easier to transport it ready for the show this weekend. So I've got a lot to do, so I'm going to get started. So the total size of my actual build, it's currently around 6 foot wide by 5 foot deep. And that's about the size of 2 tables at the Bricktastic exhibition. So it's quite a beast to transport. But obviously I've gone for a very 3D sticky uppy approach. So all of these plants need to come out. All of the trees need to come out. All the structures need to come out. The animals, the buildings, anything that's kind of free floating gets taken apart and it travels separately. The castle is the fortress castle from the Bricklink series, and that comes apart into 3 pieces, which is super handy, but it's still quite challenging to transport. We've got all of our chunks of planting these hedges. They're all separate, so they all go in their own separate box. All of the trees come apart separately. We've got the sculptures. All the people are not here right now. They're already packed up, ready to go. Trees are one of the most complicated and delicate things to transport in the entire process, especially the big ones. So I've got 2 rather large trees. I've got one in the otter enclosure and one that's kind of like in the central square bit. So this guy is sitting on his own set of jumpers. So his trunk does actually come off in one piece. But to be honest with you, I'll lay that down in a box and all of the foliage will just like explode off of it like some sort of mad firework. So I'm pretty much expecting that I'm going to have to rebuild most of the trees when I get to the show. You can arrive at the actual event space a whole day before. So builders arrive there 24 hours beforehand and they start building, and stuff always breaks. And the best thing about Lego is that you just put it back together again. Anything else that adds extra height also gets snapped off and goes into a separate pile. Most things I've built with jumper plates, so they will just snap off. Especially the buildings. So one of the most painstaking and painful parts of this process is removing all the bamboo. And we have to, because the bamboo is just so tall. It just does not help with packaging. So all of these come on little snot bricks. So they just all pop off. And then they all get put into a bag separately. And then the trees as well. Here's another tree that just slots off and goes into the tree pile. So this is the super duper depressing part, because look at how rubbish the zoo looks now that it's all in bits. And without any planting, look at how two-dimensional it looks. Looks so different. So what I've done is I've bagged up the otters. So that's all the otter planting and bits and pieces, and the otter signs in there. Red panda's in there. Red panda house is in 2 different pieces. There's all the animal houses there. Ticket booth, gift shop, red panda house base, tree section. I've got some bonus trees here that I've been working on. I figured I might as well bring them as well. These are spare parts, ignore these. We've got all of the hedges all in one big pile, the zoo lettering, all of our little bush plants, meerkat, bush shelter. And then over on this side, I've got the cars and the castle. And then, of course, look at the zoo. Goodness me, how depressing. It's always a little bit, like, disheartening taking it apart after obviously you've spent hours and hours and hours building it. But it's important to remember that the whole reason why I'm building the zoo is to actually put it on display in the real life zoo. So I did have to build it modular. So this is the next part where it actually starts to get really sad, when I actually start to properly take it apart. So I just temporarily put these bits in just so that it wasn't flying apart as I was trying to work on it. So there's just little pieces here, there and everywhere. Separating out, there's one. Next connector there. Nope, it's not even connected. And then here goes this one. Sad. Here comes the next one. There we go. It's all falling apart. Now the red pandas is a little bit different because I built that as a separate piece at the time. You can kind of see where it's lifting. So this actually pops up as one thing on its own. She says, here we go. So I will put that over here. Boop. Oh, look at it, it's so sad. The reason why I use all these tiles underneath is to keep it all raised evenly. Obviously it connects in a few places around the edges, but of course, here we go, that's separated now. Now these ones are a little bit different because they're connected by the actual paths. So, there we go, that's popped up there. That one's popped up there. So I'll just keep all of these path pieces separate. So when I go to put the thing together, oops, smash the fence. Oh, I just love rebuilding this. And then obviously I'll just put that there so that I know that that belongs there. There we go. Make a separate pile for them. And here we go. It's starting to fall apart now. Right then, you can see that all the base plates are separated out now. There is 7 along there and 5 along there, so that's a total of 35. Now, some of them I've kept in doubles just because they can, because I've got boxes big enough to keep them. So this bit here is a double piece. It can separate. There's just like a bit more of a connection there. This is where I had major Uber problems at the Locomotion Shildon Brick Show. Because that hole was all one, including this bit, and this bit smashed and completely destroyed during transporting. So I've actually separated them 2 out into 2 big chunks, and then that's one big chunk on its own, which makes life a little bit easier. And the picnic area is just kind of like one chunk because they will actually fit. The car parks are 2 just big flat pancakes. And yeah, there we go. So now we're ready to box up. To assist with my transporting of the most delicate things on the entire planet, I am going to actually utilize this goat area to plant loads of trees. And that's because the goat thing is actually not coming down. And if the tree is like less than the height of the goat thing, it's just going to sit in a box on its own. So what I'll do is I'll plant all of the trees round by the goat house, and then they'll all be transported in place, in theory. So I'm gonna have to take the tops off of them ones, they're a bit big, but that will help keep these little guys secure. But 100% they're gonna explode before they get to Manchester. There we go, I worked him out. So he's in 3 different sections. There's 3 trees there, 2 trees at the back. I can probably fit another something in the middle there. He's got his own box because he's a big beastie. I don't know what I'm going to do with him yet. So once all the Lego's been boxed up, now I've got to pack the important stuff. So I've got some spare leaves and some spare plants in case I get a bit bored and I want to do some building while I'm stood there. So that's going in the tub. We have got our goats, can't forget the goats, and they've got some food for traveling. And there's their little food container and there's a little slice of cheese there. I have done the important thing and removed this guy. He's staying at home. No bueno. So this, if you know, is the most valuable goat. So this one's gonna wait this one out. Some hot dogs for the refreshment stand, butterflies, birds, and a duck. 3 red panda, 3 otter, a mouse, guinea pigs, and friend. 3 seagulls, and a wheelbarrow. I've also got some tokens to give away, so these are what I will put onto other people's exhibits that I appreciate. And of course the zoo wouldn't be a zoo without the beloved visitors. So I've got a bag full of visitors in here, all kinds of guys, and different scenarios, accessories, etc. And once I've got the zoo put together, then these will be plugged into place. So there's also like an educational stand in there, there's some characters. I'm probably not going to take any of my valuable minifigures with me, so these are all kind of bog standard minifigures. There we go. Can't forget about these guys. And they can travel in this box here with the tree that's definitely not going to survive the trip. And the other thing I'm going to take is my QR code, and this goes on display on the stand so that people can scan it and head to the YouTube channel. It's got this mad stand that I made out of weird legs off of a mechanical spider set. He just sits like that on this mad stand. And I'll take some cards. So there we have it. I'm all packed up and I'm ready to go. I'm going to do my best to film some highlights and bits and pieces at the Bricktastic show this weekend in Manchester. You can still book your tickets online for Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to be competing in like an off-show competition between exhibitors on the Saturday afternoon for a few hours, so I won't be at my stand. And then there's like a little mini competition build on the Sunday as well that I'm doing. There's quite a lot of events on for the actual exhibitors, which is quite cool. Never done anything like that before. So there's a 3-hour build competition on Saturday that I'm going to be doing, and it's like a complete mystery. So that's going to be interesting. I will tell you all about it when I get back. So if you're going to be there, do please pop over and say hello. I'll be wearing my ZooBricks hoodie as well, just in case you don't recognize me. And if you haven't done already, please do remember to like this video and subscribe to the ZooBricks channel and help me build the world's largest Lego zoo. I'll see you next time.